welcome our blood viewers to RTD's News English edition. As usual, we bring to you the major and top highlights of tonight. Let's follow. The President of the Republic receives the Ethiopian Minister of Foreign Affairs. The head of state also receives a delegation from Al Jal Oil and Energy Company. And on the international scene, Palestine Jenin, an injured Palestinian strapped to an Israeli army armed vehicle. Those were the major and top highlights. Welcome back to our newsroom, our beloved viewers. The President of the Republic, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, today received the Ethiopian Foreign Minister, Mr. Taye Atseke Selassie, at the Palace of the Republic on his first working visit since his appointment to the post of Ethiopian Foreign Minister. The audience between the President and the Ethiopian Foreign Minister provided an opportunity to evoke the privileged relations of fraternity, friendship, and cooperation between the two countries and peoples. The meeting provided an opportunity to take stock of the strategic partnerships between the two nations in the fields of development, trade, culture, and security. It should be noted that the Republic of Djibouti and Ethiopia have distinguished themselves on a regional and continental scale as successful models of complementarity and economic integration. The Ethiopian Foreign Minister was accompanied by the Ethiopian Ambassador to Djibouti, Mr. Berhanu Tesegiye, and senior officials from the Office of the Ethiopian Foreign Minister. On the Djiboutian side, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Mr. Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, the Djiboutian Ambassador to Ethiopia, Mr. Abdi Mahmoud Ebe, and the President's diplomatic advisor, Madam Fathiya Jama'uddin, all took part in the audience. Let's listen now to what the Ethiopian Foreign Minister had to say.
This is my first official visit since I took the office of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And it's been a very distinct honor and delight to come to Djibouti and have a discussion with His Excellency the President. Well, we discussed on the long-standing relationship that Ethiopia and Djibouti enjoyed for so many years. And indeed, our relationship is exemplary in many ways, and informed by history, tradition, and culture, and language. So I'm here to give more impetus, more strength, and really meaning to our long-standing relationship. There were quite a number of issues that we have raised of bilateral and regional importance. We're very much satisfied with the discussion that I have with His Excellency the President, and as well as with my brother, Minister Mahmoud.
Mr. Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, Djibouti's Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, emphasized the enduring bonds of fraternity and cooperation between Djibouti and Ethiopia. He highlighted the strategic partnership encompassing development, trade, culture, and security as pivotal to regional and continental integration. He underscored the meeting as a reaffirmation of their nation's commitment to strengthening these ties for mutual prosperity and peace in the region. The President of the Republic, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, received at the Palace of the Republic a high-level Saudi delegation from the Al Jal Oil and Energy Company led by the Chairman of the Board of Directors, Sheikh Musleh Mubarak Al-Doseri. The Saudi Petroleum Company is to build a refinery in the Damerjok Industrial Zone. This visit marks a significant milestone in economic relations between Djibouti and Saudi Arabia, with the announcement of a major project, the construction of a refinery plant in the Damerjok Industrial Zone. This project, carried out by the Ajial Oil Company, represents a colossal investment of 18.7 billion US dollars. When completed, the plant will have a refining capacity of 300,000 barrels per day, making it one of the largest of its kind in the region. The refinery plant is expected to create around 10,000 direct jobs and 50,000 indirect jobs, providing significant opportunities for young people and boosting our country's economy and sustainable development. This oil refinery will enable crude oil to be transferred into various finished products such as gasoline, fuels, chemicals, and industrial raw materials in the Republic of Djibouti. This strategic project illustrates Djibouti's determination to assert itself as a leading industrial and energy hub to boost the country's economy and strengthen its strategic position on the regional and international scene. The president of the Saudi Arabia Oil and Energy Society expressed a high regard for the Republic of Djibouti, emphasizing its potential as an exceptional investment destination across various sectors. According to him, Djibouti represents significant opportunities for investment. We are committed to launching Africa's largest project, 300,000 barrels per day oil refinery capable of producing gasoline, diesel, and other derivatives from crude oil. This initiative, slated to commence in the coming months after laying the foundation stone, not only benefits Djibouti but also extends its advantages to neighboring countries in the region. Highlighting Djibouti's attributes, he noted Djibouti's stability, security, and strategic maritime location make it a secure and appealing investment hub. Moreover, as a Muslim nation and a close ally of Saudi Arabia, Djibouti enjoys strong frontier relations with the Saudi government and people. The president of the Ports and Free Zones Authority highlighted Djibouti's appeal as a strategic hub for global trade investment. According to him, Djibouti's strategic location and stable environment make it an ideal destination for businesses looking to expand operations. Our ports and free zones provide unmatched opportunities for trade facilitation and economic growth. In essence, he underscored Djibouti's pivotal role in international commerce, emphasizing its modern infrastructure and conducive business environment as key factors driving its attractiveness to investors worldwide. In a new initiative reflecting the Djibouti government's firm commitment to strengthening the manufacturing sector, the Prime Minister, Mr. Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed, this morning sponsored the groundbreaking ceremony for a project to build a 300,000 barrel per day refinery plant in the Demerjok Industrial Zone. This 12.7 billion US dollar project is being financed by Saudi Arabia's Ajial Refinery and Energy Company, illustrating the exceptional relations and bilateral cooperation in the economic field between the Republic of Djibouti and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. On completion, the project is expected to create around 10,000 jobs. The groundbreaking ceremony was attended by several members of the government, including the Minister of Energy in charge of natural resources, the chairman of the board of directors of Ajial, the chairman of the Ports and Free Zones Authority, as well as several ambassadors, the prefect of the Arta region and the sub-prefect of the Merjok. In his speech at the ceremony, the chairman of the board of directors of Ajial Petroleum and Energy, Sheikh Muslih Mubarak al-Dosari, underlined the importance of the project, which reflects the depth of frontier relations and fruitful cooperation between Djibouti and Riyadh, particularly with regard to strengthening the petroleum industry and contributing to the local security of petroleum products such as fuels, chemicals, and industrial raw materials in the Republic of Djibouti. For his part, the chairman of the Ports and Free Zones Authority, also Djibouti Industrial Demerjok Development Minister Obakar Umar Hadi, emphasized in a brief speech that this initiative is of the utmost importance as it symbolizes a decisive step towards realizing the vision of the President of the Republic, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, to transform Djibouti into a continental and international economic and commercial hub, to transform Djibouti and to make it bigger. The Prime Minister, Mr. Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed, expressed his satisfaction and his support for the new refinery during the ceremony, emphasizing its pivotal role in strengthening Djibouti's manufacturing sector. He highlighted the project's potential to create about 10,000 jobs upon completion, illustrating the government's steadfast commitment to fostering economic development through strategic partnerships. Following this series of speeches, the event was crowned by the laying of the foundation stone for the refinery project in the Damarjok Industrial Zone. The ceremony was attended by the Prime Minister, the Minister of Energy and Natural Resources, the Chairman of the Ports and Free Zones Authority, and the Chairman of the Board of Directors of Agial Petroleum and Energy. It should be noted that this ceremony follows the conclusion of an agreement between the Ports and Free Zones Authority and the Saudi company, which has pledged to make every effort to ensure the success of this strategic project. The Chairman of Ports and Free Zones Authority, Mr. Abubakar Umar Hadi, asserted that this 300,000 barrel per day project would play a crucial role in reducing unemployment in Djibouti by creating no fewer than 10,000 jobs during its first phase. On Sunday, June 23rd, the President of the National Assembly of Djibouti, Mr. Dileita Mohamed Dileita, conveyed a message and frontier greetings from the head of state, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, to his brother and counterpart, His Excellency Mr. Felix Antoine. The purpose of this meeting was to solicit the support of His Excellency Felix Antoine, President of the Democratic Republic of Congo, for the candidacy of Mr. Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation of the Republic of Djibouti, for the presidency of the African Union Commission. The President of the National Assembly underlined the strategic importance of this candidacy for Djibouti and the entire African continent, highlighting the diplomatic skills and expertise of His Excellency Mr. Mahmoud Ali Yusuf. His Excellency Mr. Felix Antoine welcomed the message with deep appreciation and sent his frontier greetings and best wishes for prosperity to His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh. This Monday, June 24th, saw the presentation of the United Nations contribution to the 2022-2024 drought response in partnership with the government of Djibouti. Mr. Mohammed Ahmed Awali, Minister of Agriculture, Water, Fisheries, Livestock and Holitic Resources, Mrs. Amina Ahmed, Secretary General of the Ministry of Social Affairs and Solidarity, and Mr. Ahmed Mohammed Madar, Executive Secretary of Risk and Disaster Management, were present. The priority of this funding was to provide an emergency response to the most severely affected households through multi-sectoral activities aimed at mitigating the impact of the drought and aggravating shocks on the adaptive capacities of vulnerable populations. Activities were divided into 5 thematic sectors, namely strengthening food security through activities aimed at supporting and developing agriculture, food assistance to the most vulnerable households, strengthening household nutrition, particularly for children and pregnant and breastfeeding women, support for access to water, sanitation and hygiene, as well as protection services for vulnerable populations, but also against gender-based violence. Minister of Health Dr. Ahmed Roble said that after the appeal made by the head of state regarding the drought, the commitment and response came first on the part of the government. He said that the Ministry of Health is already working on the ground, as this is not the first time that Djibouti is suffering from drought. But this phenomenon has become more severe and will become more severe due to climate change. So this climate change will particularly affect this arid environment that we all live in, especially in rural areas. He added that the Ministry of Health is at the forefront of the fight against malnutrition and food insecurity. The Ministry of Agriculture explained that desertification and drought are real threats in an arid ecosystem like Djibouti, where the average rainfall is 150 millimeters per year. The inhabitants of the interior regions, most of whom are nomads, this drought is very serious, and these nomads face these climatic hazards, and this crisis is a permanent one. For his part, the Minister of Interior pointed out that the impact of drought persists over time, and therefore, in the face of various recurring phenomena, we need support that is not sustainable over time. In the face of this phenomena, it becomes necessary to strengthen adaptation and mitigation policies through these massive investments and new and strong measures based on a systematic approach. This morning at the Sheraton Hotel in Djibouti, the awareness workshop on the single African air transport market opened. The 2-day event was opened by Hassan Hamad Ibrahim, Minister of Equipment and Infrastructure, and Mr. Mohamed Warsame Diri, Minister of Trade and Tourism. The opening ceremony was also attended by the Director General of Civil Aviation, Mr. Ali Dawood Abdo, the Airport Director General, and representatives from both COMESA and IGAD. The workshop aims to raise awareness of the economic and operational benefits to clarify the regulatory and institutional framework associated with the Yamoussoukro decision and its implementation, to identify and discuss the challenges facing member states in implementing these reforms, and to encourage wider adherence by member states to the signing of the solemn commitment for the full implementation of it. The workshop is a major component of the support for air sector development program, financed by an 8.8 million euro contribution agreement signed between the Commission Secretariat and the European Union.
Member states that traverse the 5 regional economic communities of COMESA, EAC, IGAD, IOC, and the Southern African Development Community. The other objectives of the program are to operationalize the single African air transport market, strengthen regulatory and institutional capacity for civil aviation authorities, and also to improve air navigation efficiency.
The objectives of the support to air transport sector development projects include supporting the operationalization of the single Africa air transport market, SATEM, strengthening the regulatory and institutional capacity of civil aviation institutions, and improving air navigation services efficiently within the Eastern Africa, Southern Africa, and Indian Ocean region. There are several benefits of the single African air transport market as a flagship project of the African Union's Agenda 2063. These benefits include there is economic benefits such as boosting trade and tourism.
The Minister of Trade and Tourism, Mr. Mohamed Warsame Dirie, emphasized the vital role of this agreement awareness workshop in promoting regional economic integration through enhanced air transport connectivity. He highlighted the workshop's objective to underscore the tangible benefits of the Yamoussoukro decision, aiming to streamline regulations and foster a conducive environment for air transport across Africa. For his part, the Minister of Equipment and Infrastructure, Mr. Hassan Muhammad Ibrahim, echoed the sentiments of Mr. Warsame Dirie during the workshop's opening ceremony. He underscored the strategic significance of this workshop in bolstering Africa's air transport sector, emphasizing its potential to stimulate trade, tourism, and investment. Minister highlighted the workshop's role in enhancing awareness about the regulatory frameworks associated with it and fostering cooperation among member states to optimize its implementation. After completing the 5th pillar of Islam, the Hajj, the first contingent of Djiboutian pilgrims returned home last night. On arrival at Djibouti International Airport aboard Dalo Airlines, they were warmly welcomed by the Minister of Muslim Affairs and Waqfs, Mr. Moumin Hassan Bere, surrounded by his close collaborators and the senior staff of his ministerial department. The first group comprised of about 130 people, and the Djiboutian pilgrims will continue to return to the country in the coming days. The Djiboutian pilgrims expressed their gratitude to the Ministry of Muslim Affairs and Waqfs for the efforts made to enable them to perform this religious duty in the best possible conditions. The tour of the caravan of the festivities of the 47th anniversary of our independence continues. Reaching Sheikh Musa on the evening of Sunday, June 23rd, this event aimed not only at the population of Sheikh Musa but also at neighboring districts was a resounding success. Indeed, the inhabitants of these large neighborhoods were able to celebrate the birth of our national sovereignty with popular jubilation and patriotic fervor. The Startup Djibouti Boot Camp, organized by the Ministry of Digital Economy and Innovation through the Center for Leadership and Entrepreneurship, came to a close yesterday at the Ayla Hotel. Startup Djibouti, the flagship initiative of Djibouti's entrepreneurial ecosystem as part of its new incubation and acceleration programs. On the last day of the boot camp, which took place yesterday, the 44 young entrepreneurs presented their projects to the experts and jury members, including the Minister Delegate for the Digital Economy and Innovation, with a view to being chosen from among the 15 projects shortlisted from the 44 by means of individual interviews, after which they will be supported and assisted by these young entrepreneurs. Shifting gears towards the international scene now, images taken from a house in Jenin, a large town in the northern West Bank, show a man with an injured arm strapped to the hood of an armored vehicle climbing up a steep street during an Israeli army operation on Saturday. The Israeli military authorities, who explained this shocking scene as an arrest, acknowledged on Sunday that their soldiers had violated orders and standard operating procedures, that the behavior is not aligned with the values of the Israeli army, according to them, and that an investigation will be launched. Well, Nagla, by this, our blood viewers, we finally conclude this edition. Thank you for being with us, and make sure to follow us for more. Have a wonderful evening. Take care.